Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is M-Dog, and this, I suppose, is the Merry Christmas edition. I know it has been a while since we did our last episode, so it is certainly time to do that. I'm a little out of touch, to be honest, so I don't know what exactly we're going to fish for tonight on this episode. It is cool, though. We've just had the Christmas update to RF4. I invite you to go to the forums or Discord page if you want to see the patch notes. It's pretty interesting, though. One thing we do have is the New Year's Fair, which one thing I like about this, it actually shows you what all's here on the table. So at least for higher level players, one thing to note is we do have some new dips as well as boilies. So I guess on my main account, I'll probably jump on and get some of these. It looks like they may only be available during the holiday season, so that's kind of nice. Or interesting, at least. We also have a range of rods and reels. Look at this old vintage reel. It looks like, it's just so funny how like vintage it actually looks. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I've looked through here briefly. We got some new line lures, some different floats, different colored floats, some inline feeders. Looks like some cool stuff. It doesn't look like, in terms of money, I'm not necessarily seeing anything that's blowing me away in terms of like the value. They look fairly comparable. I think a lot of maybe the desire to get some of this would just be the different look it has and how it's going to be fairly rare. If you take a look at this feeder rod, I mean, this is not a bad feeder rod for this account, kind of where we're at. It's 800 silver. It actually is comparable in its load capacity to like a Model 2 feeder. Maybe a slightly better deal than the Model 2. Well, what is this, $7.99? I think a Model 2 feeder might be closer to 1,000 or 900 or something. So there might be a little value in some of this stuff. You would just have to kind of check each one. Where's the Model 2? So 918. Yeah, 26.5. You'd have to compare them, but it looks like that might be a slightly better deal, possibly. If you are not into cooking, this is a good way to get a bunch of cheap tea. If you don't want to level up your cooking, at least you'd have some tea to restore comfort during storms or after big fights with fish. Again, I feel way out of touch. I don't know where the spots are or how things are going. It has been, oh goodness, since the last episode. I bet it's been more than a week now, right? Maybe more? We do have our rough and white bream order. So I guess we could just do that and see if we can get enough for some of that. Let's just get our rods in the water. Again, I just haven't fished in a while. So the thing that I've been doing, I mean, it's just been a busy time. It's the holiday season, more time with family, of course, and work's been a little busy. I'm going to have some things will slow down a little bit for me, which will be nice. I think we need to put these 3.2. That's one thing I'm not sure that I've been doing as often as I probably should when going for the smaller fish, is changing the feeder size. I mean the leader size. I just don't remember if we were doing that or not. If we weren't, we'll have a better bite rate and probably also catch better fish on the smaller leaders. The chance that we're going to get, I guess the worst case scenario is that we get a, I don't know, maybe a big bream or something. But we'll see if these guys are even still biting. Again, things could have way changed since I last did this. Like, is our night crawlers still working that corner back there? What about at Old Berg? Is the bream and tinch spot still working? I just have no idea. And full disclosure, the other thing that I have just been playing a lot of when I have had full free time, I've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov. And if you know anything about that game, it is a fairly complex first-person shooter. there's a lot to learn with it. So it has taken a lot of my time and attention just trying to understand everything that's going on in that one. And honestly, that has taken me away from the fishing game in general, and specifically it's taken me away from making videos as well. So we'll see how it goes. I've started to get to the point where I'm a lot more comfortable in Tarkov, at least with basic understanding of some of what's going on, feeling a little more competent. And so that may mean that I'm at a place where maybe I can try to get back into spending some time. Look at this white. That is a nice white bream. So even if the rough aren't here, if we're catching fish like that, that is completely fine. I believe that is a nice rough. But if you're leveling up, I'm not sure that I would say it's, you know, worth changing your strategy or your approach just to like spend silver on some of the Christmas stuff that is here currently. Unless you find something that is replacing what you were going to purchase. If it looks like it's a better deal, then yeah, maybe it is. But I'm just going to get a few more red worms. When we last left off, we still have the rod, upgraded rod. So we're just now trying to put silver together to get a new reel to put on our newest rod. We actually have a really nice feeder rod that we're not even using right now because we just don't have an appropriate reel to put on it. But we certainly have lost some momentum with me taking a little time off. So we'll see. Honestly, sometimes when making these, like, these videos that are really meant for new players, I do feel like I sort of get to a point where you're really no longer a new player. You know, once you've kind of gotten some time in at Old Berg and you're working towards Bear and even Volkov, yeah, you've still got a lot you can learn, but things get a lot more grindy. So it's harder to, in an extended series like this, it's hard to really tailor stuff specifically like you can with early game. So we'll see. I don't know where we go from here. If I have the desire and the time, I may keep doing this for a little while on this account. We'll just have to see. I would love to be able to, but because it does get so much more grindy, I mean, basically what you do is you just find the hot spots and you just keep going, and that starts to feel repetitive after a while when I think about making videos with that. But I don't know, maybe it's okay. We'll just have to see. For what it's worth, though, this spot still seems to be good. Still seems to be producing the rough we need, as well as a few whites. And once the rough stop biting, or once we have what we need for the quest, we can kind of move over to the other side of the lake and try to finish up the white bream part of the quest. Cafe order. Now I'm saying quest. Tasks, as if I'm playing Escape from Tarkov. Alright, let's go check the cafe. And then we'll come get our rods and move them over to the other side. We still probably have a few minutes that we could get some rough again. We may not quite have enough of the right size for the rough order. They have to be from 44, so we're going to not make it. We're more likely to finish the white order, to be honest. Unless we stay another night. And I didn't even notice how much time's left. That's a big one. That's also over 44, so I think that just puts us at 1 short, if I'm not mistaken. It's okay, those rough are decent silver at that size, regardless of cafe order or not. I guess what we should do is compare that spinning reel, the vintage spinning reel that we were looking at, and see kind of what its price is comparatively. It's a little expensive, but it might also be, I think it's a 9 kilo. It's kind of in between. It sort of is an in-between reel, it looks like. Yeah, we may just get whites now at this point. That is a trophy rough. Wow. How about that? That's a nice welcome back. Also a nice white. Now we definitely have to check that order because it might not be better than just selling the rough straight up with that if we have to use that trophy. That's a nice rough though. 151. Let's check that compared to our last trophy. Yeah, that's our largest. It's our second trophy rough on this account. The first one was down in the trophy hole on night crawlers. Well, in a minute here, we're going to hook into a perch that's going to break our little leader. We're certainly past the time when we should switch over, I think, except the whites are just looking really nice here. Even still. Yeah. So someone corrected me about the amount of tea I'm drinking in one of the last videos we made. And I may not understand how tea works. I know that tea increases your comfort. I also was under the impression that tea increased your energy at a more rapid rate. If that is incorrect, I apologize for leading you astray. It may just be that your energy is going to go back up as long as your food and health and comfort ratings are adequately high. That's another one. I think we just finished that rough order. So it may be that I was incorrect on the way I was using tea. I will say that with the amount of tea that I'm crafting to level up cooking, I don't so much mind using a little extra tea. I also will say that it kind of feels like my energy is not going up very fast right now. So perhaps it would go up faster if I drank tea. We'll see if it starts jumping up now. I think it is moving up more quickly now. But again, I could be wrong on the way I understand that tea works. In fact, I even thought it stacked. I thought you could drink 2 teas and a coffee and just shoot your energy up really fast. But if I'm wrong on that, I apologize. All right, I think we should move spots now. Not that we wouldn't still keep catching decent white bream here, but I might be interested in going and seeing about while we're here at Mosquito, let's just go see how it feels with the night crawlers in the trophy spot. See if it feels like that spot's still alive or not. Might be good information for you if you're still doing a lot of your leveling or silver grinding here at Mosquito. I would like to know myself as well. Okay. 1 to 5. So that's for 27 silver. We're not having to use the trophy, so that's good. And let's see. 1 to 5 for 12 silver. So certainly a lot more to do the cafe order. And then white bream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is definitely worth it. 24 silver, and we would have gotten nothing for those bream, to be honest with you. And then that trophy rough has come in at 13 silver. So good. Those white bream are nice. We've already got 34 more silver just waiting on us. All right, let's go see what this spot looks like. We'll do a range of hook sizes, and we're going to at least start off with all night crawlers, and let's see kind of what this spot feels like at this point. And I know the temptation is to do a lot of fishing at Old Berg when you're able to go there, and there's no doubt that there's a lot of good fishing at Old Berg, especially with feeder and float fishing, but don't hesitate to come back to Mosquito, especially when it's been as good as it has in the last little bit. All right, we're going to go Crucian Gibble. I think we want the 5.4 liters. And we're going to go 6. And we're going to go back to clipping at 8 here. And need to go up to 5, 4. So we did 6. Now let's do 8 on this one with night crawlers. I need to purchase a third 5.4 fluorocarbon leader. at some point, because I believe on this third one we're going to have to use just a straight 5 mono, which is fine. And then on this one we'll do a size 10 night crawlers and 8. So if you want to catch the maximum number of trophies here, if you haven't seen me fish this spot before, if it's still working, which I can't say if it is or not, but if it is, then it seems to work the best in the overnight hours. It still can do some good stuff during the day. Oh, you know what? We didn't change ground bait on either of those 2 rigs. I think we did put it on this one. So let's still see if we're still getting bites. As long as we're getting some bites, I would say it's probably still active. And we can also check the weekly list. See if any of the crucians and gibbles or Chinese sleepers are showing up at Mosquito. Yep, all Mosquito, all night crawlers. And the most recent one was caught yesterday. So I'd say that's a good sign. Not today, but just yesterday. Mosquito, yesterday. On crucians. Also redworm seems to be working. And gibble. Yep, also mosquito. Also yesterday. So the only suspicious part is nothing has happened today, but actually the reason why that is because it's not that long after midnight. So scratch that. It's all good. All right, let's switch this to a crucian gibble mix as well. I don't think the sleepers will be repelled by the crucian gibble mix. And it may help with catching the actual crucians and gibbles. So our food, health, and comfort are all really high. Although, to be honest, I would suspect that we may still be under the effect from drinking the tea before. I just don't know enough about how some of that works. Some things say how long it's going to stay with you. Some things don't. I want to say in the past I've heard it's at least like 120 seconds real life, something like that, but I may be wrong. I might be remembering wrong there. Up to level 16. A lot of these players that have started fairly recently are making good progress. Wow, up to level 20. It's awesome. Level 9 player here. I like this. Very good. Even as a new player, not breaking rods and reels. Seems like this player is probably setting up his equipment properly. Now, it's okay. You know, 1 or 2 it can happen, but if you're breaking them all the time, then something's probably not getting set up correctly. Alright, so this is our rig with the smallest hook on it. So it does look like the sleepers are still biting during the day, at least during the morning. Alright, let's see. See if it continues this slow or if it picks up any. Again, the best time to do this would be late afternoon, evening, and overnight, and then like into the morning hours. I mean, you can get a lot of time in this spot and catch some beautiful fish, a lot of trophies, or at least you have been, but we're kind of coming here at the worst time. If there's a slowest time, it's probably from around noon till maybe 4 or 5 p.m. But we still should occasionally catch fish if it's performing, and it seems to be. It seems to be. One thing we could do during this time is really lower our hook size and put baits that are a little more common, like regular worms, maggots, pearl barley, bread. These are all baits, semolina. These are all baits we could try during the day to try to increase the bite rate. Go to size 12 hooks. It actually might be worth doing, and then at night putting on the big boys. Let's try this. We haven't gotten a single bite on this reel or on this rig. Let's see if we can do this. Now we're gonna start catching probably a lot smaller fish, but for now I'm not gonna change the leader size. We're gonna keep the leader on. All right, let's try semolina on this one. I just want to see how semolina does. We're going to go all, and I'm going to give these other two a second. It sounded like one of them was possibly going to get a bite. We're going to go semolina, pearl barley, and then maybe bread. So we'll go a dough sort of approach to this spot during the day with a little smaller hooks and see how that works. We just want to catch some fish during the slower part. This also would be a good time if you do want to level up float fishing, to maybe just throw out a really small hook with worms or bread or something on it and just catch some trash fish to level up float a little bit too. I don't know how patient I want to be on these other two nightcrawler lines. Yeah, it seems like a decent fish, and again, nice gibble. Again, we're just trying to catch fish right now. We're not going to be catching the big trophies most likely, but we weren't going to be catching many fish during the day anyway with the nightcrawler approach. Alright, let's go ahead and switch these other two. We're going to go size 12 and pearl barley on this one. And then let's go size 12 and bread on this one. And if we don't feel like those are working adequately, obviously trying worms, maggots, there's some other options we have to see if it does any better. You can see the bite rate has already suddenly increased dramatically, at least on the bread and semolina are getting nibbles. Alright, so Bread just landed us a really small gibble. We'll try to keep tabs on that to see if we need to maybe change Bread. Pearl Barley actually still has not caught anything. Semolina's gotten 2 decent gibbles in a row. Again, Bread got a non-marker there, although it was really close to being a marker. Small crucian. Alright, so let's see what Pearl Barley caught. It took a lot longer for Pearl Barley to get a fish on. Okay, it's a sleeper. Gibble. Did you catch a carp? Okay, so let's try, let's see what Nightcrawlers does. We'll keep Nightcrawlers on 1. Have we made sweet dough yet? Yes. Okay, we'll put sweet dough on this one. If nothing else, Semolina is catching fish during the hottest part of the day, so that's always impressive. All right. Is that the sweet dough? He's trying to do something. Ooh, carp is dialed in. This is the sweet doe. It's a gibble. Size 2. Interesting. Size 8. Size 2. That is humongous. He's using a size 2 hook in this spot. But he is catching... I know he's gotten at least one trophy sleeper and a gibble over a kilo. And his sleeper was a weekly. Weekly telescopic bream. Did he catch a telescopic bream? Wow. 2.2 kilos on a telescopic rod. Okay, that's a pretty nice gibble. Let's increase the hook size a little bit here on the sweet doe. Immediately bite on the sweet dough again. Alright, this is on the night crawlers. It's a perch. What size hook do we have on here? Let's go back to a 10. And the semolina has slowed down here in the heat. Okay. Sweet dough on the tench. Huh. Ten trophies, very nice. Yeah, till the night crawlers start picking up on their bite rate, the sweet dough is not a bad substitute. Maybe sweet dough during the day and night crawlers at night. I don't know. Unless you're just really trying to get the Chinese sleeper trophies, then you probably stay with night crawlers. And you can see how slow the night crawlers are compared to the semolina and the sweet dough. At least at this point. But we're getting decent fish here. I'd almost rather like have some action during the hot part of the day instead of just holding out for that one Chinese sleeper trophy or something, because plenty of them will come at different points in the day if you're patient. There goes night crawlers. Nothing exciting though. Night crawlers again. It may be time to start switching over to night crawlers. We've gotten 2 pretty quick bites here. I think next fish on next fish on the semolina or the sweet dough, we'll probably switch it over. I don't know. These baits might do just as well. That is a big gibble. But I do think we at least try the night crawler trophy run here a little bit, at least a little bit into the night, and see how it's looking. Come on, seriously? That's another pretty nice fish. You know, it is tempting to stay with. I'm actually going to put the carp hook on. It is still a size 6 though. But it's a carp hook instead of a standard hook. So we have 6, 8, and 10. All night crawlers, all Crucian Gibble mix. And there's the first trophy. 411. How big do we have to hit to get on the weekly? Plus 479. Actually, I think Carp Guy just bested that one, so we'd have to go over Carp Guy's size. Now, unless things have changed dramatically, we should start to see, look how far down the list that trophy rough is at 151 grams. We should start to see gibbles showing up at some point once it gets to be overnight. That's a little guy? A very little guy. Honestly, the fish was so small I couldn't see it past the nightcrawler. Ooh. If that's a sleeper, it's not. Were we using 3.2 liters here before? I bet we were. Or at least some of the time. I bet we were. What's the worst that could happen, right? So this whole rig is about to be cycled out when we can afford our next reel. And it really hasn't taken enough damage to even notice. So at early levels, you just replace stuff so fast that you don't really have to start repairing till you get to, I don't know. I don't feel like I really repaired a whole lot till I got to sort of the Saber 60 reel level. And even then, it's a long time before you have to repair. You have to be doing a lot of fishing to have to repair very quickly. All right, we're going to switch. I want to fully test these spots out with the 3.2 liters. I was trying to wait because this third rod has had this stinking nibble on it for so long. Looks like something good, doesn't it? So the question is, how would this feel on 3.2 liters? I'd feel like the fight of our life. I mean, it really would. It'd be a tough fish to get in. There's a trophy gibble. So it might not be necessary to go to 3.2. I mean, we just caught that on a 5. But I do want to test it, so the struggle is going to be real. Which means we probably shouldn't dig anymore. Make sure we have some energy. So that was 2.102. I bet the weeklies are huge though. Not too bad. I thought that looked like a bream. I can tell you one thing, we don't want to start catching big bream on 3.2 liters. So it sounds like Amber Lake's been a little slow lately. It's just kind of catching up on what people are saying on Discord. I know Ladoga was really hot for a while. Tuba's been really good, especially for trolling and some decent sturgeon spots. I saw a lot of trophies being posted at Bear lately. Not a lot of news to report. I mean, the most trophies that I'm seeing pop up seem to be from Bear right now, but I don't know. That's on 14 drag. This is probably a small trophy. Wait, is that a bream? No, it's a gibble. $2.11. So I see that Mosquito is still a healthy place to fish. 1, 2, 3, 4 trophies in our first session back. Now maybe next time we can check out Old Berg and see if Tench and Bream are still biting, and maybe go throw some experimental baits down in the pond and see what comes out. So we're still catching trophies down here, although I will say the overnight fishing here has not been quite as active as it is some nights. Is there a fish on that line? Yeah, I think so. This one might be a little bigger, assuming it's another gibble. This time of night, that's what you would expect. Doesn't want to come in at all. So the question is, are these 3.2 liters necessary? Because, you know, you take a chance of losing a fish like this. Every second it's out there struggling against you, it's has that chance of popping off. I think this is going to be a good one, though. We shall soon see. Yeah, 2.67. And that is on the size 6 carp hook. That's going to be number 1 on the weeklies, I believe. It just feels weird to have this slow of a bite rate when you're fishing for gibbles and crucians and sleepers. But the trade-off is when this higher percentage of them are trophies, you know, out of 4 fish, 3 of them trophies. So it's like, I guess it's worth it. Well, we hope this is a sleeper. If not, it is not a trophy. Ew. So it sounds like Carp Guy bought himself a picker rod. And he's using it to catch bream for the first time. Trying to see which one he got. The Fortuna Picker 300. The only thing that's a little bit difficult with picker rods, if you're going to also use carp rods, like where do you come up with the points to put into picker rods? And that's 7 more points, unless you're just skipping points into feeder rod. I just think it's hard until you get to really high level to have points in more than 2 of those. It's hard to specialize with everything. So maybe it's time for the sleepers to return. Stinking grass carp. It's like we didn't lose the fish, but I guess it was never hooked on properly. We're not going to stay much longer. This video's gone pretty long. just don't like how close the load capacity of the Kama Comfort is to the Lacerti. It's just not ideal, and that's what comes in that first feeder combo, the kit. It's just not my favorite. I definitely like the Asteria a little better. I mean, I like the look of the Kama Comfort, but what is this? Not a sleeper. We'll give it another minute. That second line's had a stinking fish on for a while. Just flirting with him. Yeah, if we have a really good fishing session next time, we may be at the point of being able to afford the reel. If you weren't here when I purchased it, or last episode, the Fortuna feeder is going to be our nicest feeder rod. We just haven't purchased the reel for it yet. It's a really nice rod. It's one of my favorite, like, early to mid feeder rods. And I guess we'll be putting the, what's it called? That one reel on it. You know what I'm talking about. The nice thing about it is, though, that rod can grow with you. You can also just as easily put a saber on that rod and be okay. Well, this is annoying when fish do this. We've got the lightest tip on there, 14-gram quiver tip. It still isn't pulling it hard enough to actually ring the bell. Which I guess would be more annoying if we were hearing the bell this whole time. Could be a sleeper. Nope. What leader did I put on? Maybe I didn't change the other one? I wonder if people ever try to fish from up here. Be like a 15 clip maybe. I don't think I changed all the ground baits. Kind of want to aim like towards the boats, just right of the boats maybe. Try to drop it in that 5-meter hole. And really 20 meters might be better, but I'm not sure. Looks like they're all going at about the same angle. Pretty far down, but we're also from such a height. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Okay, let's see about any orders. One to three. I think that's still going to be better than selling those individually. I thought we had some tiny gibbles. I guess not. Oh yeah. Look at all the orders. And we were just not in a, still not catching a lot of crucians. Then other than that, another 125 silver. Dang. It's pretty good. Plus all the orders we did. 15, almost 15 silver for the big one. Yeah, we're up to 422. So I think we have a fish on. The reel I was talking about is Adriatic, of course. 345. It's only 345. Is that what we're getting? Because our other big reels, yeah, when we can afford it now. Unless for some reason we want to save up for the Pride, which is a little nicer reel. It's 2-star, 223. I mean, just got, you get a little bit more spool room, but they're both 2-star. I just don't. I think the Adriatica for the price, 398 versus 345. I don't know. It's close. Let's see what we're catching off this spot here. I'm kind of intrigued by this little fishing spot. White bream, that's good. What is that? It's a little sleeper. Okay. Oh, this is pretty small too. It's a nice little white. All right. So we might add that to the spots to test out. Caught little white, little sleeper. Might catch rough there overnight. I did want to do, while my brain is still working a little bit before we sign off here. Okay, so max drag here is 9 kilos. Now you do have to be player level 16, which we're about to hit. But 9 kilos for 789. Let's just compare that first. 789, 9 kilos. 789, 9 kilos. So that's like slightly better than the Proton 6000 in terms of strength, but it's a lot more expensive. What was it, 799? Slightly less expensive than the, or a lot less than the Proton Pro, but not quite as strong. And this is a 6000 spool. Slightly stronger than this, but it's a 6000 spool. Wait, how much is that one? 698. So what spool size is this? A 4000. 238 meters at 0.2. Golly. See, what kills it is being the 4000 size reel. I think when you're paying that much, when you go up to that next step, you're talking, you know, 600, 700, 800 or more silver. You probably want a little bigger spool than what that's offering, in my opinion. All right, so let's just go ahead and make a decision. This will be sort of exciting because this next time we'll have this to use. Wait, I need to decide. Okay, hold on. So at 0.28, 207, or at 0.28, 223. That's only 15 meters more. Max drag is 7.5, 501, 541. I mean, there's no doubt that this is just slightly better. The question is it 100 silver better? Sorry, 150 silver. There's just no way, right? It's got a little more torque to it, but I think it's just like the Adriaticus 5000. It's hard to compare the Pride 6000 to it. I was looking at this top price for 500 silver. I just don't see it. I mean, if you're going to do that, why don't you get the Proton 4000? Oh, it's only a 4000 size. Save up a little more and get the Proton 6000. I think we just go with the Adriatica here. All right. We need to get bigger line, but for now we can put that on there. And we'll have to get the leader at, well, actually, we don't have to do anything because here's the deal. We're going to be breaking down the comma comfort. We do still need to get another fluorocarbon leader. I just think we have to go to we could get 6.4. Yeah, because wait, hold on, guys. It's late, okay? So it's going to be the comma Fantasia is here, and the Asteria is here, and the Fortuna is here. Technically speaking, we want like, we could go up to like 9 kilo line, right? Even 10. Even 10 maybe. $7.5 would be right on the nose. There's 10.5. 10.5 with a 10 kilo liter, fluorocarbon liter. Do they sell those here? $9.7. Okay, so we just need a little bit more silver for that to put that together. There she is. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. So we still have 78 silver, so we need to save up a little bit more to get all that finished off, but then we'll have a legitimate bream line here. I mean, this will be like, we won't have to struggle on bream at all. But we will sometimes be undersizing it to catch certain fish, but if we're going for something that might catch carp, we can go full bore, 9.7 kilo liter strength, and probably be fine. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here, and once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hope you have a great time with family, friends, loved ones. See you next time.